I'm Jose Hernandez, and this is my R5C Rig. Let's get into it. So first of all, I was kind of hesitating on actually building a rig for this camera, but after using it for the last few months, I've realized that it kind of needs to be rigged out just because the battery life is absolutely horrible. I mean, the R5C has become my primary camera now, and I pretty much leave my Lumix X5 on sticks, or sometimes now I'm even using my iPhone for just normal content creation. The one downfall for this camera is that the battery life is so low that you're kind of almost forced to rig it out with some sort of battery solution. And I know this has probably been done a million times, but this is kind of like a Cine Back, but not paying for the Cine Back. I don't think it's worth the money if you ask me. I know all the little extra connections and mounting points seem really cool, but I gotta be honest, it's really not my thing. My biggest my biggest turn on to something like this is the fact that I could just basically detach the camera from the battery, the power supply, and actually just mount it onto a tripod. It makes it really easy to be able to kind of use it as, if I need it on sticks, I could put it on sticks. And if I needed to grab it handheld, it only takes me a second to latch it off, which is absolutely amazing. Now, I am using a SmallRig cage for this one with the mounting point locks on the side, only because you really do need that. I think that with the micro HDMI and with the power supply just being kind of like small, you really do want that in there as a, as just for safety. I haven't knocked out any cables in the past, but I'm not really willing to take the risk on actually breaking the HDMI in the camera, especially because I got it used and I would hate to have to pay to get this thing repaired. Um, what I did notice is that when you go with the bigger batteries, it becomes really heavy. So I was trying to make it so that it's light enough for me to like basically run around with it all day and still be able to get a good amount of battery life. So I went with a SmallRig 50. It's super small. I think that this battery has become my new favorite battery. I'm not sponsored or anything. I just found a solution here for the rig. It's because this thing is so small. And I think that if you're gonna have this thing long term and kind of like carrying it around all day, the 100 hours and the 99-hour batteries are really heavy. And I just don't like to use them, to be honest with you. Every time I put them on, the rig just becomes super heavy and it just becomes kind of cumbersome. And it's not really my style. My style is light and nimble, and then that way I could kind of like do whatever I need to it. The cool thing is that I could literally just, take the battery plate off the bottom, and I am pretty much, with just a normal standalone camera, which is pretty cool. I mean, I could pretty much strip this thing down in a few minutes. If I really wanted to, but I tend to leave the power cable on it because if I'm going to use it on sticks, then I'm just going to have a D-tap, or I'm sorry, a V-mount battery already on the tripod, kind of like I do. I just do that normally just for battery power, just to make sure if I'm filming anything long term that it's done. I went with a Deity shotgun mic. I had it laying around. I use it a lot. I like this mic. It's the reason why I have it up here. It's not because it's the best mic. I could use my Comic VM40 for something like this, and it will work just fine. I just didn't know how to really mount it on here, to be honest with you, because once you put it on the shotgun mic boom here, you still need a spot for the transmitter for the Wi-Fi, which I really don't need. So I just really need a small mic just to get some scratch audio for the most part, or if I'm doing an interview or I'm in front of somebody, just to get decent enough audio to be able to use it and not just what's in the camera. As far as the monitor, I went with the Osee G7. Now I've been using this monitor. I actually bought it for my S5. The reason I bought it for my S5 is because it has a camera control on it, so you could focus. You could focus. You could change pretty much all the settings in your camera with it. It It does not work for this setup only because I'm using the USB-C for power delivery. So it kind of, it doesn't defeat the purpose, but I really just like the monitor and the way it looks. I don't necessarily need all the power, I mean, all the controls for it, to be honest. If I'm going to control anything, I probably just use the buttons. I got everything on quick menus right now. So it's kind of, you know, I just wanted a really nice monitor, and I really like this one. It was around $500, and so far it's been great. It's the only monitor I like to use. I have 3 other monitors, cheap ones like a Freewell. I have another Osee, I think it's called a T4 or T3 or something. And I really like that brand. I mean, it's inexpensive and it kind of does the job. I did have a Blackmagic, what is it? The 12G 7-inch, just because I wanted to kind of record RAW with my S5, and just with the HDMI lag, I just got out. I was like, you know what, forget it. I'm not filming RAW in my camera. It's part of the reason why I wanted a camera that filmed internally RAW. So far, I've absolutely loved this R5C. I'm actually working on a small project right now, a documentary on one of my cars. I'm a huge car guy, and I'm rebuilding an old car, and I'm really excited about it. And I thought about what I wanted to do for a project for myself, just for passion, just to keep me going. And this is what I came up with. And, you know, I'm gonna hopefully post that video up there soon. I'm actually working on a couple of others, like just kind of mimicking stuff that I talked about before in a different video. It's been really challenging actually to do that. So I'm just sticking to what I know. I mean, between work, the holidays, it's just been rough. So I feel like I'm just going to stick to what I know and stick to what's actually what I'm passionate about. Now, the cool thing is now is that I have a full setup, right? I got my S5 that I could throw on my gimbal. I have this that I could throw on sticks or a gimbal, or I'm not going to put this on a gimbal, but I could throw this on my tripod, or I could handheld hold it. I like the handheld look, especially with a camera that's not stabilized. So that's kind of why I wanted to have this for this camera specifically. And for everything else, you know, I got my nifty, you know, my really cool iPhone 17, you know, that's pretty much doing all the things that I needed to do right now as far as filming content. Some of all the B-roll that I played of the actual rig build, it's all been taken on my iPhone, just in case you're wondering. And yeah, so far so good. I'm hoping that at some point in the near future, I could just do everything on my iPhone 17 Pro, as far as all the talking head stuff. And I could keep my S5 on the gimbal, keep this loose and, you know, loosey-goosey on its own. And yeah, anyway, this is just a quick video. I just wanted to kind of go over what I used. I did use an Alvin's cable to D-tap adapter. It's very important to use this. If you don't, you will fry your camera. And it's a really cool way to get the D-tap going to your, this is the only solution I really found, to be honest with you. You know, is either with that, or you could run a USB-C directly to the battery. But then the USB-C is small and finicky, and I kept hitting it, and I'm thinking, man, I'm just going to break the USB-C cable. So what's the point? So then I said, you know what? I want to D-tap, and this is a really cool option. I think it was like $39. You know, some, I would say, middle of the road Amazon cables for the most part. I am powering the monitor as well with the battery, and I'm getting about 8 hours of camera use. So just keep that in mind. And I'm filming 8K 60 raw on this thing. I'm not like holding back. I'm using it for, you know, I'm using this camera because it shoots 8K 60 raw. So I'm going to shoot 8K 20, you know, 8K 24, 30, and 60 as much as I can, and just use that raw capability. Yeah, my memory cards don't really like it, but it is what it is, especially for the stuff that I'm working on right now. But anyway, if you stop by, just take a look at this thing. Great. I hope you like it. This is a Canon 16-35. Definitely pick yourself up an EF 16-35 with the EF adapter. This lens right here, I love it. The autofocus is great, and if you're actually using the Super 35 mode or the Super 16 mode, you could actually, it's very usable. Like, you could actually punch into things more than you need to, more than you would with your regular 24 to 70, or, you know, other lenses. So instead of swapping lenses, what I'm doing is that I'm using that one lens, and then I'm going to Super 35 if I want a little bit more reach. And if I want even more reach, I'm switching to Super 16. Again, in RAW, you know, I think it's 2K RAW, which is great. I'm happy with it. I could probably post some of the things that I've been doing it, but I'll probably wait for a different time for that. But yeah, sorry, now I'm just rambling, but I hope you liked the video, and yeah, I'm out. Peace.